Weddings-ish, 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 with Jove.
This episode is brought to you by David's Bridal. Shop Marchesa at davidsbridal.com. Well, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Weddings-ish with Jove, a podcast all about love, joy, and weddings-ish with a special guest each episode. I couldn't be more excited to have in studio the co-founder and creative director of Marchesa, Georgina Chapman.
Hi.
How are you?
I am very happy to be here.
I'm so thrilled that you're here. And right before we started, we learned that we both really love cheese.
I really love cheese.
Like a big fan.
Huge fan of cheese. I could probably do a whole podcast on cheese.
I mean, should we start a cheese podcast?
I think maybe. I think as long as we can eat it while we're talking
While we're
about
doing it. Oh my God. Should we rate the cheese?
Yes.
Are you a soft or hard cheese girl?
Ooh, you see, I love a soft goat's cheese, but I love a hard sheep's milk cheese or cow's milk cheese.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you love them all.
I love them.
I love
my
that.
Weakness.
And I love Marchesa. I have to say, what a
thank you.
beautiful brand that you have built in your career. I'm getting married this year, this June.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And we just tried on a Marchesa flower child's dress for our flower girl.
Oh, I love that.
Literally, she cried, we cried.
Oh,
it
my
was like
goodness.
the cutest pink dress.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't even know you made clothing for children.
We do. I mean, it's actually one of my favorite things. Because
Okay.
anything in miniature, I mean,
Yes,
it's just adorable.
it's adorable.
Yeah,
It's literally, we
just
bought it and I was like, this is the cutest thing in the world.
It's so sweet. And, you know, my only issue with it is my own daughter doesn't want to wear it.
None of it?
No.
Oh my God. That's wild to me. Like, I get
like,
rebelling
"Mom."
against your parents, but not when your mom like, what?
No.
Wow.
She orders online.
Okay.
She does her own thing.
That's, you know what? Maybe she'll come around one day, but if not, I kind of respect that rock and roll
she's
attitude.
14 now. When she was little, I could force her to wear
Of course, she had no choice.
But now that ship has sailed.
Got
She's
it.
coming round slowly.
Okay,
now
slowly.
she's like, okay,
She like
maybe.
sees mommy wearing something and she's like, who made that? And you're like,
she's coming round. Maybe her
I
wedding
don't know.
dress.
Oh,
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Would you be devastated if she didn't?
Well, yeah, I think she'd have to because I think I'm paying for the wedding.
There you go. So there's no choice.
There's no choice.
So maybe that's the story. Her first dress as an adult is her wedding. One of them that she has to wear.
That's it.
I'm obsessed with that. So you're born and raised in London.
I am, yes.
The accent is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. It's funny because when I go back to England, everyone's like, oh, you've got an American accent now.
Oh, it's not American. I can assure you of that. It's so beautifully British.
Oh, thank you.
And you studied design in college?
I did. So I studied costume design.
Oh, costume for
Yes,
theater or for
that's
TV or
for
film?
theater.
Okay.
And that's what I specialized in, and film too.
Great.
I wanted to work with literature.
Okay.
I loved working with text and character. And I also wanted to study the historical aspect
Interesting.
of clothing.
Each piece of the clothing. Like,
Yes, so it was a really interesting course. So
Yeah.
we sort of learned to make corsets from all the different centuries.
They changed over the centuries?
Yes, they changed. Yeah,
Oh,
as
like
body shapes.
higher or bigger? Or...
Well, it depended on what century you're in and
Yeah.
what shape was deemed to be attractive at that point. So sometimes it'd be more of the waist, sometimes it'd be flattening everything out.
Oh, interesting.
So
like a bustier or a thinner or curvier.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it sort of moved from generation to generation.
Sure.
And so I loved that whole part of it. And, you know, it's translated nicely into fashion.
Of course.
And especially into bridal, because I really think creating a dress is a bit like a house. So you've got to get the foundation right.
Yep.
Once you've got that foundation right, then you can start to build
play
on
from
top.
there.
That's
What's
right.
the foundation of a good dress in your opinion?
A foundation for me is to have structure in the right places that holds the woman in, makes her feel secure in the dress. However, it doesn't fight with her.
Okay.
And it allows her to feel comfortable.
Okay.
Or as uncomfortable as she'd like to be.
I was going to say, because some of these
do
dresses do not read comfortable to me. I'm like, can she even sit down?
Well, some people are like, tighter.
Yeah. I want no waistline.
Well, that's right. So, you know, and it's working with all those things. It's understanding your customer, what she's looking for, what she isn't. And, you know, sometimes I'll do a dress that's actually adjustable. So you can have it really,
whatever
really
you
tight
prefer
when you first start. And then as the evening goes on, you can,
as you have dinner,
as
you have some cheese, you can let it out a little bit. I love that. I love that. So did you always know you were into fashion, or did you discover that in college?
No, I always knew since I was a tiny child.
Okay.
It was... I always feel very fortunate that was the case. It was never like, what am I going to do when I grow up?
Okay,
I was
you
always
were
very
clear.
crystal clear. From probably when I was about 5, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah,
were you like
young.
trying on dresses or sketching, or how did you sort of really know that that was
a
the
little bit of
direction
everything?
for you? Okay.
I was cutting up clothes, much to my mother's horror.
I was going to say, I'm sure mom was not thrilled.
No, she was not happy about that at
Your
all.
daughter won't wear your clothes, but at least she's not cutting them up.
She's not chopping mine. Yeah, no, that would not be good.
No, that would be far worse.
So it really started. I had this absolute obsession with clothing, and I also had this feeling that I was born in the wrong era, and it really distressed me as a kid.
Okay, where were you supposed to have been born?
A few hundred years ago.
Oh, like centuries?
Oh, yes. I wanted to be in a dress and a corset every day. I wanted wigs. I wanted pearls.
You wanted all the pomp and circumstance.
I did.
Like 7 people dressing you.
I did. I just, there was a romance to it that I just thought was wonderful, and I was terribly disappointed that I was given jeans
that you were born
and a
in the
t-shirt.
contemporary times.
I was.
You're like, sweatpants. Ew.
No, that's what I was. I couldn't.
You wouldn't?
No. I
wow.
thought it was
Even
awful.
the grocery store, like you just didn't, you always wanted to be in a dress.
That's what I wanted when I was very little.
I love that. You were who you were meant to be from a young age.
Always.
Yeah.
I went to, I think my mom took me to the Victoria Albert Museum, and they have the most incredible costume department there. If anyone's in London, that's a beautiful place to go.
To stop by.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I used to ask to go there a lot because I just want to get lost in the dresses and imagine what it would have been like
in that time frame.
Wear those every day and how that
all
would
day.
Feel all day.
So you like the drama. I mean, those dresses are not minimal.
Not minimal at all.
And there's like layers and layers and layers of tulle, and then it goes up, and then the hair, like the drama of that.
A lot. And in those days, it was very, very heavy fabrics as well. So, and I should think it didn't smell great.
Yeah. No, I'm sure
but
not.
my mind was not going there at that age.
No, you were going to the visual, not that.
That's right. And as I got older and realized that they probably didn't have Advil or anything like that back then, I was like, actually, I'm quite glad I am born now.
You're like, or maybe like power or the internet.
Exactly.
Or toilets, actually, with water.
Any of that.
Yeah, none of that. So like, let's glamorize the dressing and move forward. So you were obsessed with dresses of the past.
I was.
Studied it in college. And is that where you met your business partner, or where you founded Marchesa with?
Yes.
And you met in class or on campus, or tell me about that.
Literally
in class.
In class, yes.
And how did that interaction, like, were you like, I like you, you like me, let's start a major
really good
fashion house?
Well, I knew once I met her before I studied costume.
Okay.
We met at Chelsea Art School where I was doing a foundation course, because in England, I think it's slightly different here.
We don't have foundation courses. It just sounds so much better than core curriculum.
We have a foundation year in art college. So I went to Chelsea Art School, and there I initially was studying fine art.
Oh, beautiful.
I love painting. Because I love portraiture.
Okay.
I used to paint a lot of oils, and that was
really a
sculpture.
Renaissance woman over here, loving painting, fashion,
I
sculpture.
But I loved all of that, and I love sculpture, and for me, the sculpture was quite a good transition into fashion, because I still drape a lot on the forms. So I see that as sculpture.
Yeah, of course.
But it was there that I met her.
Okay.
And then I went on to a different college to study costume design.
So you parted ways.
Yes,
and then
correct.
What brought you back together?
We're just friends. And I decided that I wanted to pivot away from theatre and film.
Okay.
Mainly because there weren't really enough projects that I felt would excite me. I didn't want to do contemporary clothing.
Yeah.
That didn't interest me.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be my own director.
Yeah.
So I was young. And when you're young, I think we must have been, 25.
Oh, great.
So.
Yeah. So the world is your oyster.
Yeah. And you don't really think things through properly.
Which is
let's
great.
just start a
I think
fashion
in some
company.
worlds, You were 25 when you all started
I think I was about, do you know what? I can't remember, something like that.
Yeah, young,
26,
but still.
maybe 27. I don't know. It was late 20s.
And
I'd
how
have to
was
try
it
and do
over?
the maths.
No, don't worry about that.
I don't want to do maths at my age.
We don't need to be doing math today. Don't worry. There's no numbers. There's no tests.
So 10 years ago.
So, but I'm curious about literally the genesis. Like, was it over a coffee, a bottle of wine? Like, a lot of people talk about starting something, but you did it and you've built something. So I want to know that spark and like the first steps to getting the brand.
I wanted to start creating, and I wanted to create special dresses, and so it was a case of just really starting.
Yeah.
And just going,
doing.
why not do it?
Yeah.
And start it.
And what is the name? Where does it come from? What does it mean?
So the name Marchesa actually came from a book, Marchesa Luisa Casati, called Infinite Variety, which is about her life story.
Okay.
And this woman, she was essentially a countess.
Okay.
And the Marchesa is, it's a noble name. So
this tracks for you, by the way, that you would have a noble name as your brand.
Yeah. So it's the Italian for countess. Or, yes. And so I just thought it was a great name.
Yeah.
And this woman viewed herself as the living work of art. The book's amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I recommend reading it. She sort of walked around with leopards and was, dressed, painted by every famous artist, photographed by Man Ray.
Yep.
I mean, she was an incredible woman. She died completely penniless.
But she lived while she was alive.
Oh, she lived while she was alive. She lived very well. And so I just thought this idea of somebody wanting to be a living work of art was kind of extraordinary and limitless.
It is.
From a creative standpoint.
Yeah.
So that's really where the name came from.
I love that. Were there any other names in like as contenders or that you kind of knew?
Well, I just didn't think my name was terribly good. Chapman.
It's a cute name, but doesn't feel as...
No, Marchesa.
Yeah, I mean, with the accent too, I'm like, fine, I'll buy it. And your first dress under the brand, do you remember, was it a collection, a single dress?
I mean, we just started making pieces. And,
for friends, for family, or for...
Yeah, for myself and what have you, just, experimenting. And I've always made my own clothes growing up. When I was about 14, 15, I started to make a lot of my own stuff to go out in.
Not with your mom's cut-up clothes anymore.
Not with my mom's cut-up clothes.
You started buying some fabric.
And I was going out and people kept asking for pieces, and I actually got offered to do a line.
Wow.
And in this, it was like this sort of, it doesn't exist anymore, but it was sort of a pop-up market that would happen every Saturday.
Beautiful.
And my parents were like, absolutely no.
Meaning you can't sell on this market. Yeah.
You're not doing this. Yeah. This is not happening.
This is a no.
This is a no.
So you ran towards it. Oh, you didn't do it?
I didn't do it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No. My parents were like, no.
Yeah, they were really adamant.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So
we listened.
Yeah, so that I didn't do. But so I just started making pieces. And at the time, I met a friend of mine, Tamara Mellon, who founded Jimmy Choo. And I spoke to her and I was like, how did you really get that off the ground?
Yeah.
Because she had so much presence on the red carpet in Hollywood. So she recommended that I took on a publicist in LA.
Okay.
And who could introduce me to the whole world.
To all the right
red
people.
Carpet.
Sure.
And so that's what I did. And quickly we started to get our pieces on the red carpet.
Yeah. I mean, you're known for so many iconic red carpet looks. Can I ask who was the very first person that kind of put you and Marchesa on the map on the red carpet?
That was Renée Zellweger.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and she, the dress...
What year was this?
2004.
Sorry, I said no math. Okay, so really quite early because you launched Marchesa
very early.
in 2004-ish, 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was almost later that year.
Yeah.
And it was completely stitched by hand, this dress.
Wow.
Because I worked with a friend of mine from art college, and she was a costume historian, and she was amazing seamstress. However, the corset that I wanted to use in this piece, it was taking forever to make. And I was like, Anika, we've got to get moving on this.
Like the awards are here.
She was like, well, no, because we can't use a sewing machine. And I was like, what do you mean we can't use a sewing machine?
Like it was broken?
No. She was like, because of the period of time this corset is from, historically, you wouldn't have been able to have a sewing machine. I was like, I really
Are you a purist? Like, I didn't realize that was...
That was what my college was like. It was really purist.
Wow.
So we started...
By hand?
Yes, literally by hand.
Does Renee know this? I mean, that's like wild. That's amazing.
We did end up moving it on. And then for the next dress, I created like this sort of backless corset. And it was fun. It was a lot of engineering and a lot of playing. And it was really wonderful.
It's gorgeous. And then from there, the brand obviously gets notoriety and people start to figure out who you are and search for your work. And then when did you transition into bridal?
So... Bridal always seemed like a very natural progression for what we did. And,
for sure.
I've just always had loved bridal and have a great fondness for it. I think that is almost also where my wanting to be in fashion came from. I remember like poring over bridal dresses as a child. I think, a lot of girls don't have this fantasy, but I certainly did, imagining what that would be like.
Course.
And,
what that could look like, what the possibilities would be.
And I remember Princess Diana getting married as a child, and I would like look at these pictures.
Yeah, the world was watching, of course.
And, so I always have had a fascination with that. And it's just such a incredible experience working with a bride. It's the most important day of their lives. This is a picture they're going to look at for the rest of their lives. And it's an enormous responsibility, but it's also really a wonderful moment in time. And it's such a privilege to get to be with someone.
With them during that and for that.
It really is. It really is. And you get to learn so much about people.
100%. And everyone is so different.
Well, they are. And this is what I also enjoy about bridal is, if you're doing a red carpet dress or you're doing an evening dress, what somebody is looking for is quite different to actually what they're looking for in a bridal dress.
Yeah.
Fashion, in the end, goes out of the window because I'm always like, what did you always dream of looking like? What's really in there?
So
not
you go back to the
magazines are telling
vision,
you.
not what's trending.
Correct.
For you, for bridal, is that. It's not forward, it's backward a little bit.
It's what your soul wants. Because I say to brides, this may be in trend right now, but I'm hoping you're looking at this picture in 40 years' time.
Yeah.
So what was in fashion today
isn't
going to matter then.
Yeah.
What matters is what was your vision?
Yeah.
What do you truly want? Like people are like, oh, I want something sleek because that's what everyone has.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but have you tried on a big gown?
Yeah.
Have you tried it? And they're like, oh, no, I can never do it. And then you'll be amazed how many times
they
you
try
put
it
someone
on.
in a dress and they're like, and you can see the magic. You can see them come to life.
Yeah.
And it's really a special moment watching somebody blossom.
And fall in love with a version of themselves maybe they've thought about or not thought about for their whole life.
Yes.
It's really such a special thing. And I think a lot of people don't, like you're saying, they don't know. They have this idea of what they want to wear.
Yeah.
So you're a fan of trying on multiple shapes, cuts, and sizes.
Absolutely. I really am. And I also urge every bride, I'm like, take a friend with you, someone that's not going to have a lot of opinions either.
Take your nice, agreeable friend.
And have them film you from every angle.
Oh, interesting.
Because otherwise, you can have a picture from the front and then not know what you're looking like from the side
what's
or
going
the back.
on. Yeah.
So you want to see it in 3D.
Okay.
You want still pictures and you also want to see it filmed as well. So you really get
all angles because people are gonna see you and you're gonna live in it from every angle, not just the front.
That's right.
Which is very smart.
That's right. A lot of people are going to be looking at you from the back.
Yes, when you walk down an aisle, for sure. We're all looking at that.
Exactly.
So then are there trends that you're seeing that people are loving or do you design bridal in the way that you see it? Now, you know what I mean? Like there's so many.
I like to design it how I see it and go with what I feel passionate about.
What you're inspired by.
I do. And, listen, yes, there are trends. And yes, they're like a big skirt will go in and out of fashion.
Yep.
However, I do feel that when someone's coming to Marchesa, they're looking for something very romantic.
Yep.
They're looking for that from me.
Yep.
And if they're looking for something different, they might be going somewhere else.
So romance is your signature.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love drama. I love romance. I like celebrating that moment. And I always urge a bride to don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Try on a veil.
Why not?
Do it.
What's the worst? You say you don't like it or you fall in love with it.
That's it.
Do you feel like a wedding dress should be white or ivory or are you open to...
I'm open.
You're open.
I'm completely open to that. And I really think each different skin type sits better with a different color.
Yep.
Optical white wouldn't be great on me.
Yeah.
I would be better with
Sure. It's optical white, bright white.
Bright white. Yeah, that wouldn't be great, but it can look fabulous on somebody else.
So
I think it's getting that shade of right, white. Shade of white.
Shade of white, right, white. Yeah. Getting it all right.
Getting it all right.
Got it. So figuring out really your complexion first helps also with the color of the...
And, also all playing with color, if you like.
Yeah.
I've done a few dresses for private clients. I did one that was ombre to blush, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
So pretty. I've done a couple of those, or to a powder blue. And it's like, you don't have to be conventional if you don't want to.
I love that. I mean, you should wear what you feel fabulous in.
Absolutely. It's your day as a bride.
Do you think 1 dress, 2 dress, 3 dresses, 4 dresses?
I think the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Okay. Some people feel like it's one and done. Like you have to wear.
I personally, I'm a one and done girl because I think when I find that piece, that's it. I don't. And also, it's very. I think it's hard to find a moment to step out of a wedding
of the party
and start getting changed again,
and then a new look and new hair and maybe new makeup.
That it takes a long time. So you're stepping out of it.
Yeah.
But everybody's different. I think everyone should do what they want to do.
Of course.
And some people have multiple days.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's fun too.
Yeah.
But then other people would like to party and wear something short.
Something shorter and flirtier.
Yeah, and I've made dresses that I did one for a friend of mine, and we ended up putting a zip in so she could detach the
whole
bottom,
skirt.
Yeah, the whole bottom of it. Yeah,
so she didn't have to go change. She could just unzip and go.
Yeah.
I love that. A 2 for 1.
So fun. 2 for 1.
So in the bridal with you, if I wanted to get a wedding dress, is there sort of a core collection, a semi-core collection, and then fully custom? Or how do you...
Correct. Exactly.
That's sort of the world.
Exactly.
And if people want to work with you, is that a possibility,
absolutely.
The atelier? Or here in New York, abroad?
Yes, I've flown all over the world to meet my brides.
I love that.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I've got to meet so many incredible women from so many different cultures, and I feel very privileged to have had the opportunity to do that. And
to interact with them for such a special time in their life.
It's so fun. And as a designer, it moves you forward because you get to experience other people's perspectives, their creative input.
And they probably challenge you, I'm sure, in some ways.
They do, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy. And I get to learn how people feel in different things.
Yep.
And, so it definitely helps me as a creative.
Yeah, I love that. And you're no stranger to TV. You were a judge on Project Runway for a number of years.
Yes.
How did that happen? And was it the best job ever? I mean, it seems like it's so much fun.
It was so much fun, and I adore Alyssa and I adore Isaac, and it was the best. We had so much fun together.
I mean, and you're with so many passionate young creatives thriving to do what you did if you put yourself in their shoes 20 years ago.
I couldn't have done what they did.
Got it.
I'd always say to that. I was like, you're out
you
of
could
your
never
mind.
do it.
No.
Is it because of the time restriction or the pressure or the cameras
or just
all of it?
All of it. I was like, you are brave.
Yes, 100%.
And it was, it was hard because, you get emotionally involved. And, in the editing, obviously you don't see it, but it's really hard voting people out. I'd agonize over it. And I wouldn't sleep the next day.
About who you were picking to be eliminated.
Yeah, it was not easy.
I don't think I could do that either.
No, you feel awful.
Because especially if you love their work and their personality and you spend a lot of time watching their growth.
That's right.
And then you have to
it's horrible.
say goodbye.
It's horrible.
Oh my! So it doesn't sound like you want to do that again.
No, I loved it because I found it really. I met wonderful people.
Yeah.
I met wonderful designers, and I enjoy that. I did a project with FIT, and I loved doing that, working with the students. And I love working with other designers and meeting them. It's great.
It's amazing to the young energy or the vibrant energy of someone who's new to the craft.
Yes,
is rejuvenating to the soul, which had to have been.
It is
amazing.
It is.
It's such an iconic show, and I'm so glad that it came back and that you were a part of it. And just watching people blossom in what they love, there's a magic there that I feel
there really is
so special in TV. Now it's all drama and people throwing things that I kind of miss that.
I know.
That moment.
Just creativity.
Would you want to go back to TV if an opportunity presented itself?
I like TV. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't. Maybe I just got really lucky.
Sure.
But working
with the right show.
Such a wonderful group of people.
Yeah.
We just had so much fun.
Yeah.
We really did. It was great.
And this award season, you've dressed quite a few people. We've seen the BAFTAs. I mean, everything.
Yes.
And your dress at the BAFTAs was stunning.
Thank you.
It was the sort of two-tone,
it was
dark on top, light on the... Why don't you describe it? Where did that vision come from? It was so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I draped it up on the mannequin.
Okay.
And I had an idea in my head of what I thought I wanted. I think of these things a lot in the middle of the night.
You wake up.
And then I'll think about it, and then I'll go into the office. And as I said,
Do you have a notebook by the bed, or do you literally retain it?
No. My ADHD is way too bad for that.
You're not waking up, turning the light on, sketching, going to bed.
No. I'm like trying to keep a thought.
And then you're like, go to bed.
I race to the office. And then, that's where I was saying the fine art and the sculpture come in, because then I'll start cutting and playing with the mannequin.
On the actual mannequin. That's your preference before paper or
Not
sketch?
Always. Sometimes I'll sketch too, but for something like that, which is very much about angles and architecture.
Yeah,
then,
I mean, structurally it was very, the movement was beautiful.
You need to see it on the mannequin, and then I will put it on and take a look and look at the proportions and see if they're right.
Yeah.
So the top was in black velvet and the skirt was in neutral.
Yep. So it was so pretty.
Thank you.
I guess as a creative process, like that came to you in the middle of the night, but like, is that always the case with sort of new collections or red carpet? Like, what is your process as a creative to getting, like, you meet someone, I'm dressing you. How does that inspiration begin, or where do you find it for people?
Well, it happens all different ways. Yeah. Because a lot of the time for red carpet dressing, it will go through the stylist and it will come through our PR team, and they will see collections we've done.
So you'll get some information that way.
Yeah, and they will pick dresses that we've done. Or we'll have someone come to us and say, would you make a custom dress?
Got it.
Then I will talk to the stylist, see what they want and what they're looking for, what colors, what silhouettes, and we'll do sketches and do swatches and sort of back into that.
Does it start with color? Does it start with shape? Like, or is it really never the same in the process?
Any which way. The more information I have, the better. Yeah. I like to be informed, and then I'll sort of research what they've worn before and what they tend to like and what makes them feel good. And I'll have a few key questions like, how do they like to feel? Do they like strapless? Do they like a sleeve? Do they like, what makes them feel good and confident?
And what part of the body they want to accentuate.
Correct.
Or hide or cover or vice versa.
Exactly. So that's usually how that works.
Got it. And then for your red carpet looks, is there going to be an archive for these pieces? Do they find their way into collections? Where does that dress live? At home on the closet?
And home in the closet.
You have a very big closet, I'm sure.
No, that dress was part of one of my collections. I put it in the collection.
Got it.
Then my Oscars dress, that's a one-off.
Okay. For you, designed and made by you, for you.
But I might bring that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you? Yeah. It was also stunning.
Oh, thank you.
Like, I was literally like, okay. I did a lot of Google stalking, so I'm very into all of your fashion. And I'm excited because you have a big announcement coming up with a new collaboration that you're doing.
I do.
Our podcast is produced by Love Stories TV, which was acquired by David's Bridal, and I hear you have some big news to share about your new relationship with David's Bridal.
I am so excited that we are partnering with David's Bridal, and David's will be carrying not only our bridal line, but our couture bridal line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like all price points.
All price points.
Wow.
Which is really, really wonderful.
It's incredible.
And our evening wear too, and our Note evening
wear. So all of it.
All of it, which is really, exciting to me because now it's the whole wedding party.
Yes, you can dress everybody from mom to friends.
Yes,
I love that. And I was looking at your wedding party fashion, and it's, again, obviously beautiful, but I guess I was very surprised because in my mind, the wedding party looks were going to be a certain price point, but they were like very, very amazing, like very reasonable.
Yes.
Like so there's a price point for everyone.
There's a price point for everyone. And I think, that really is what we want to do. We want to give people really good quality for a really nice price point. And, I have people in the office and I hear all the time that, they're dealing with these big weddings. And I always hear these girls are like, oh my gosh, I've got my 5th wedding this year and it's bankrupt.
Because I have to buy another dress or multiple dresses and travel and hair and makeup.
With me.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can we do something that would be at a price point but still feel really special and something they want to keep and wear again?
Sure.
Be like,
of course,
because
it's not like a classic wedding party dress.
Correct,
like you can totally wear these again.
Yes, that was the idea.
And what a nice, like, what are you wearing? Like most people don't ask that for a bridesmaid. You know what I mean? Or like a wedding party person, but you're like, Marchesa.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Marchesa.
Well, I hope they are.
Well, that's so exciting. So it's all going to be available online.
It's all going to be available online. And I believe that they've announced a virtual stylist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
To help
for the
pair
couture.
People.
Yeah, for the couture. So the couture will be available online for the first time.
Okay.
So that is really exciting.
That's amazing. So you can have that sort of one-on-one attention and get the full Marchesa experience.
That's right.
I have a few other questions.
Yes, go for it.
for you some fun get-to-know-you questions.
Oh, boy.
We'll start really, really easy. Where is your happy place?
Oh, at home.
At home. Okay.
Yeah, my family.
How many kids?
2.
Oh, what's boy, girl?
Boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. What is your love language?
My love language? Oh, what is my love language?
There's like time, gifts, words of affirmation.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Oh, you don't know the 5 love languages?
No.
It's a very American book. This psychologist came up with this book called 5 Love Languages.
Yes.
And it's to help identify how you best receive love and then how your partner best receives love.
Oh.
So it's quality time, so spending time together.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good one.
Physical touch.
Yeah, I think that's a good one too.
Gifts.
Oh, definitely.
And then what is the other one? Time, touch, gifts, acts of service. So like taking out the trash for you or picking up the kids
really
for
important.
you.
Yeah.
And then the 5th one.
Affirmation,
I don't know what the 5th
did you
one
say?
is. Words of affirmation.
Yeah, that works for me too.
So you need all 5.
I think I need all 5, yeah.
Got it. So if you can't bring all 5, stay away.
Exactly.
I love that. What is the best gift you've ever received?
Oh, I think my babies. I think that's it.
Don't make me cry. That's so sweet. Okay. Your go-to karaoke song? Do you karaoke?
I really shouldn't.
But we have.
I mean, yeah, but I don't have a go-to song. Do you know what? I was thinking the other day, I really want to go to do karaoke.
Okay.
I was thinking, so I'll let you know once
when
I
you do it. Send
once
me the
everyone
video.
runs out of the door.
Yeah. But that's where you do it. No one's expecting Adele at karaoke. You know what I mean? Like they just want.
I should go with my office because they wouldn't dare leave.
Correct. They can't.
I have a captive
They're not allowed
audience.
to. Yeah. They're stuck there till the end of the party.
They're like, oh, let me out of here.
And no cell phones allowed. No video footage. Wait, invite me. This will be very fun. I'll go before you and then you'll feel great. Because my fiance loves to remind me that I'm tone deaf.
Oh my gosh. Poor Erica's terrified now.
Yeah.
It's like, she's going to make me watch a
She'll go
karaoke.
second, you'll go third. This is going to be really, really fun. What's your favorite snack food?
Ooh, cheese.
Obviously, I should have known that. What's something you wished you learned earlier in your life?
Oh, so many things. I think to be present in the moment. And I still haven't learned that.
Rather than thinking about what's coming up or what did or didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's really hard. And I think that's a skill one has to work on.
Yeah.
I have not got there yet.
Yeah. I mean, me neither. But when you find the secret, the secret to that success,
yes,
you could write a book.
Yeah.
Have you written a book?
I haven't written a book.
Would you write a book?
I'm highly dyslexic.
Okay. Well, ghostwriters exist in this world.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I feel like people would love the story of you in a book.
Maybe one day.
Okay. Maybe one day. That wasn't one of my questions, but, she just came out. How do you stay positive on a hard day?
If I ever feel negative or I start having negative thoughts, I have trained myself to now switch them around and turn them to positive and think about all the good things in my life and it's amazing actually how you can trick your brain. How you can
turn it around that way.
Yes, you can trick your brain quite quickly.
I love that. That's good advice. And what would your last meal be?
Ooh. Well, I think you know.
You can't say cheese. It's not a meal.
Okay, so if I'm going to be really decadent.
Unless you said like mac and cheese, but I don't know if you're that kind of a girl.
Well,
I think you're like a purist.
Mac and cheese.
Okay, but we have to ask. Good one. Do you put crumb on top?
Yes.
Okay, so
and
you are
afterwards.
okay, got it.
Yeah. You
so
have
you
to
like
cook
a crunchy,
it first,
crispy.
and then you have to put it in the oven afterwards.
You don't like a gooey mac and cheese.
But it's gooey on the inside.
But
and
crispy, crunchy
on the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again.
And you have to use real cheddar.
Yes.
English cheddar.
No powder
strong.
sauce.
No powder.
No American
English
sauce.
mustard as well.
In your mac and cheese?
Yeah. Coleman's English mustard.
You lost me there. Like I thought we were soul sisters until the mustard part.
Try it.
Like a little bit?
No, you have to club Coleman's though.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
English mustard.
That's the touch.
Because it gives that tangy, strong taste.
I'm a little bit nervous about this.
I'm telling you, it's good. I'm telling you.
And then my last question is there anyone you really want to dress that you've not dressed yet?
Oh my gosh, there's so many people.
But who are the top couple of people that you would be over the moon if they rang your team and said, could Georgina dress me?
My daughter. Let's start with that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know that. I'm going to make her listen to this and be like, listen, do you know who your mom is? I'm going to bully you into liking your mom.
Poor daughter. She's going to be like, Mom? Just completely threw me under the bus.
Did you have nothing else to talk about, Mom?
Complaining. I'm not wearing your dresses.
I love her independence. I love her strength.
She's wonderful. No, she is wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a long list. Yeah. And I hate singling people out because then I'll say somebody and then I'll be like, oh,
and then someone else will feel bad about it.
That person.
Got it.
I mean, there's just so many fabulous women out there that would love the opportunity.
Well, we will keep our eyes open for all of your next collection, the bridal collection, the collection of David's bride. I mean, like so many wonderful things coming your way.
About it. Yeah.
And where can people find you?
People can David's Bridal. Is where people can find us. Yes.
Easy. And your personal Instagram.
Yeah, people can find me on my personal Instagram, but that's personal, the Marchesa Instagram, and then on our website. And then we have many lines of distribution within like Neiman Sachs and
everywhere beautiful clothes are sold.
Yes.
Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you.
And now it's time for Ask Jove. And I couldn't be more excited to be in studio with my dear friend Sloan for Ask Jove. What do we have today, Sloan?
Next question is from Camilla from Phoenix, Arizona.
Ooh, hot, hot, hot.
My fiance and I are introverts and aren't excited about a big reception with a lot of traditional events.
That makes sense.
How can we plan a reception that feels more intimate and low-key, but still memorable for our guests?
Yeah. I mean, your wedding should be a reflection of you. So if you're both introverts, I feel like everyone who knows you knows that. Mm-hmm. I guess as an introvert, I'm like partially introvert. What do they call it? Introverted extrovert? Mm-hmm. I think you have to know yourself and what part of being an introvert. Hold on. What's the question?
My fiance and I are introverts and aren't excited about a big reception with lots of traditional events.
Okay. Got it. Okay, got it. Let's do it again. Okay.
All right. Next up is Camilla from Phoenix, Arizona. My fiance and I are introverts and aren't excited about a big reception with a lot of traditional events.
Makes sense.
How can we plan a reception that feels more intimate and low-key, but still memorable for our guests?
Yeah. What I'm hearing, and maybe I'm misinterpreting, if you're an introvert, you don't want to be in the spotlight, right? It's your wedding day. You are. The feature film is about you, baby. Like, this is your big moment.
Main character energy.
But I think main character energy. But if that main character energy is like quiet and demure, that's fine too. Mm-hmm. But I think you can plan your schedule where you can mitigate these moments that will make you feel uncomfortable. Like, if you don't want to cut the cake publicly, you don't have to. If you don't want to do a bouquet toss, you don't have to. If you don't want to do a first dance, you don't have to. Mm-hmm. I think like if you two are introverted, I don't want to say shy, but sometimes it's like a similar energy, then be thoughtful and strategic about the big events, the public events that you want to do, right? Like we're going to have a ceremony, so that's happening. Like, but how do we plan that where it's comfortable for you, most comfortable for you? Right. Meaning if you're introverted and don't want to publicly speak or don't want to share your vows or don't want to, you get choked up at the mic, then maybe you're officiant. You can read, they can read everything and you can repeat. You have to find the ways that you still do the things you want to do, but where you feel comfortable. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like not everyone wants the limelight and the big focus to be on them, but it is an event all about you. Mm-hmm. So I think we mitigate the big traditional moments that don't matter to you. If there's no meaning, then let's let it go.
Absolutely.
And so even we had a couple and one of them was very, very shy. And we did their first dance for 30 seconds in the dining room. Very, very not a big moment. Like literally they walked in, we didn't do these big introductions, like ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
For the first time.
For the very first time as a married couple. It was much more subtle. Mm-hmm. And I think that helped. So I think you identify what areas you're anxious about, that your introverted self feels like this might be overwhelming, and then come up with a great plan. Like, how can we do this in a way that's comfortable for us? Mm-hmm. And I think if you communicate that with your planner, with your band or DJ or MC, they can help you craft those moments to still feel special, but for you to be comfortable. Because you don't want to be someone else on your big day.
Right.
And you don't want to lose all your energy being someone that you're not or trying to be this extroverted person. Like, you have to be yourself. That's why you're getting married to the love of your life. They love you for who you are. Your friends love you for who you are. So I think, yeah, take it in strides and do what feels right, but not what you feel like you have to do. You know?
Absolutely. Perfect advice.
Great. Well, that's it for today. And wasn't that fun? This episode is brought to you by David's Bridal. Shop Marchesa at davidsbridal.com. Don't forget to send your questions. Again, any questions, send them our way to hi@jovemeyer.com, and maybe I will answer them on air. If you can, send a voice memo. I love to hear your voice.
Weddings-ish!
Thank you again for listening or watching Weddings-ish with Jove. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also super grateful to Mel Flannery for the music on the podcast. She created, produced, and designed all of the music. And don't forget, you can watch Weddings-ish with Jove on Love Stories TV, YouTube, or streaming TV channel. Visit lovestoriestv.com/live for the list of streaming apps.
Weddings-ish.